censor tube. Nice. And I'm going to pause this as well so we don't create any type of lags. Nice. Hi everyone. This is Chycho. Oh my god, it's Sunday, so it's Chycho time. Nice. I got a wasp in my ear. Nice. We're live. Let me know if there's any lag issues or anything like this, Elder God, and anyone else, because I've put a pause on all the video coming in, so I won't be able to make sure everything's flowing nicely just because it was creating lags before. Right? Fantastic, fantastic. On a Sunday. Let's see. I'm assuming. I'm just gonna look at the count. Yeah, slowly the notifications are going up. I don't know if censor tube is going or not going. Let's see. Let me press play. It is going, but ooh, wasp. And I'm assuming BitChute is going as well. Nice. Crummy VCR Chycho has salutations, and Ali on censor tube. Nice. So we're live there. That's very good. Gang, I'm gonna do a quick little intro while we wait for notifications to go out. If you want to follow this work, I am on Patreon, Substack, Subscribestar. You can follow the work there. We do have a gilded server that you can join, and I just created a matrix account as well, I guess you could call it, using it was on the element server. I guess I still haven't got the lingo down. Just set it up. Elder God and Cheryl did a lot of research, and that was the best choice, and I played around with it yesterday or day before a little bit, and it looked pretty good. I like it. So it's a backup to Gilded, because Roblox bought Gilded, and if they implement certain things and people don't want us to create a Roblox account, it'll just kill Gilded. Hopefully it doesn't, and then we're gonna go to Element. Okay, gang, we are live streaming on Twitch, on Rumble, on BitChute, on CensorTube. We're on 4. Hopefully we'll be adding Odyssey sooner rather than later. We'll see. I've slacked on recording on the lapel mic to upload the podcasts on SoundCloud. We'll get to it sooner rather than later. We are on Twitter, we're on Minds, we're on VK, we're on Truth Social, we're on Substack Notes, and we're on Gap, and we're on Getter. Gang, if you want to follow the work, you're definitely welcome to follow the work there. For those of you that are supporting this work through Patreon, through Substack right now, through Twitch, through CensorTube, through whatever means that you are supporting this work, we're going heavy. I should have done it here, but we're going heavy. Okay. Gang, for those of you that are supporting this work, thank you very much for the support. It is in large part 95% because of your support that we're able to do what it is that we are doing, and I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, gang. Salute, gang, to all of you, and the mods. Salute, gang, salute. I'm liking this gin. I'm liking this gin. Piscons, we are live in the wilderness, indeed. That was Michael Rupert had that saying. Sounds from the wilderness, voice from the wilderness. Very sad situation about Michael Rupert. Got notified on my phone. Nice, Ali. That's from CensorTube. Awesome. Mr. 22, the man, the myth, the legend, the Chycho. Salutations, Chase. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Spencer. Hope you're doing well, Chycho. Indeed. I ended up going and I gotta take these guys down. Let me take these guys down. Doink. Bonk. In Canada, we've had a glut of Cubans. It's been hard to get certain Cubans. I haven't been able to get them. Right? We once found some Guantanamera cristales in the tubes that we've been smoking that I've really been enjoying. Right? But when I was at the cigar store 3 days ago or something, the owner said that they were getting some quabas in. They haven't had quabas in for like ever, right? For months, since almost the last time we smoked, which was a year ago, right? Ended up picking up 3 quabas, exclusivos. We're gonna smoke one of them. Okay, these are one of the finest Cuban cigars there are. They weren't very well known. They aren't very well known. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Elder God. Usual gin. Sorry, I went to get nice. Yeah, usual gin. Not the blue one, but we finished the blue one. We're doing this one, the Irish gunpowder Irish gin. It's pretty smooth, smoother than the blue one. The blue one was nice. It had a nice kick to it. Drum Shanbo. It's surprisingly smooth. Okay, so really and it's clear. Enjoying it. As far as these guys go, this label is, low IQ Canadian government said they have to introduce a label to prevent people from smoking cigars, like hide the label, market. What? So this is the label for the Quaba. About 24 years ago, when I was working in the Cuban cigar store selling Cuban cigars, there was I think there was maybe 3 different sizes of Quabas, and they were one of my favorite smokes, and barely anybody knew about them then, and I would recommend them to cigar aficionados, right? And they've become better known over the last 20 years, and they are fine smoke. They're at par with the Bolivars, right? They have a very unique flavor. They're all torpedoes, okay, and I'm going to use a cutter to cut them. Okay. Emersonic Chycho, if you're enjoying gin, you should check out Mermaid Gin. I don't know that. It's made by the Isle of Wight Distillery. Delicious. Really, I don't know that one. Isle of Wight, Scottish? Is that Scottish? And Mermaid. My comic book publishing company was called Mermaid, so might as well go with that. Doing good, Den's Tran. Salutations. Cheryl, how are you doing? Hope you're enjoying the Sunday. Let's read these comments on Censor2 Gang. I'm just going to get it caught up in there. VCR. Let's do a little cut. I'm going to do I'm going to do a medium cut on this. Actually, some people might consider that a heavy cut. That's a medium cut. I want a nice straw. That's a medium cut. It's not too deep. It's not too short, right? I haven't smoked a Quaba since last time we smoked a Quaba. VCR, do you think it's a person's responsibility to inform the normies that won't listen to reason, or is it paramount to save one's own hide at this point? You should save your own hide, and it becomes extremely difficult to convince people that don't want to know, don't want to learn, don't want any new information to come in. Those people, some people that are in a cult, to do an intervention and make them see what's going on. Really, I've tried in regards to politics, I've tried for many years. I've tried for many years. So you have to save yourself. However, usually, most of the time, because there are sometimes you have to keep your mouth shut, but usually in friendly circumstances and stuff like that, you shouldn't really allow those who don't understand something to get away with their bullshit, right? So as long as your life is not being threatened, your physical body is not being threatened, then I don't think it's personally informed. You don't necessarily need to inform them. You have to resist their stupidity, right? So that's one thing I've figured out, right? I'm not there to, most of the time, I'm not there unless the person really wants information. I'm not there to inform someone who belongs in a cult, who believed in Russiagate, who believed in I am science, who believed in incubator babies, who believed in chemical attack, who believed in Somali pirates, who believed in Yemen who believed in any of this, right? I'm not there to inform those people who are propagating the BS, right? Unless they ask for information. I'm there to resist the propagation of their stupidity, of their intolerance, of their lack of understanding of the situation, right? So if I'm in a party, someone starts talking. I was in a party last weekend. Someone starts saying, "Oh, the Republicans are anti-science." So I resisted that by saying, "You mean I am science Fauci, the most anti-science thing I've ever heard in my life, right? Creationists are more scientific than I am science Fauci, right? Like literally, those people who believe that the world is 10,000 years old and we walk with dinosaurs and all this stuff, they're more scientific than Fauci that came out and said, "I represent science, I am science." That is literally the most unscientific thing I've ever heard in history, right? So I resisted the stupidity of a person saying that Republicans are anti-science by giving an example of the top person in the last 4 years in cahoots with the Democratic Party, right? Being completely 100% the most anti-scientific thing, stating that in history, right? That's resisting, right? That to me was resisting. Did it go to educating them? I was talking with, it was me and 2 other people, and I know the other person believed in Russiagate. Assange abuses cats. Assange is Russian puppet. Hillary good, orange man bat. Like I know that person. You can't break that wall. As a cult, right? Nice guy. Is weird. Nice guy, but totally brainwashed, right? Keeping our arms there, right? That person was the first time meeting him, right? And I resisted his stupidity being passed on, right? And the conversation between us ended right after that, right? So I didn't go back to him and say, "Hey, do you know what's going on?" Just with a simple example, I resisted the stupidity, right? That to me is good enough. That to me is good enough, because I do that enough times where people know at gatherings not to fuck with me, or don't propagate stupid things with me. I'm not part of the cult. Right? Panda on fire 5. Hi chycho, looking sharp in that garden. I'm feeling a little down today. Oh, there you. Any positive words from the week ahead? Me and my partner are going to eat amazing lettuce in today's live stream. I got 3 lettuces in pots that we're going to harvest, so that's a good thing. Other good thing, gold and silver are doing a move up. They're breaking out again. The BS of the global economy, everything fine and hunky-dory, the veil is lifted and the narrative is collapsing. There's a lot of positives happening. Panda on fire, seriously, there's a lot of positives happening. You just have to be able to, like, I know people that watch the debates, or at least half the debates, or half an hour of the debates, and I didn't bother. Why would I watch that crap? Like, it's like, oh, here, I'll sit in my seat in my home while you come to my house with a bucket of poop and smear it all over my face. Why do I want to expose myself to that garbage, to that poop, right? So one way to become more positive and filter out the garbage noise, right? The stuff that they want you to smear you with, right, is stop participating in their system, right? And once you stop participating in the system, and it's not just about oh my god, on Rumble, it's not just about consuming the information, it's about everything that they represent, right? Their system is music, film, finance, banking, economics, politics, food, everything. Resist their whole front coming at you, right? So once you don't participate in that system, all of a sudden you have to look for different systems that exist to fill the void of what's left, right? So for example, those people that participate in the current economic system, that buy stocks and go for their RSPs and retirement based on your pension. I'm laughing because it's funny to me. It's like, dude, do you even understand what it is? Or they're just taking the word of authority saying, yes, take a portion of your money and put it here because that is the system that has been paying off really well for the last few decades. And some of it is, right? People are doing this. Huge percentage of the population is doing this without even understanding what they're participating in, right? So once you decide, okay, I'm not going to participate in that, then if you're working, making money, you do have to make investments. So that forces you to start needing to look into where to invest your money. Or if you're working at a job that you really hate and you're making really good money, but you have no freedom, you might think about reducing the amount of time you're working there, right? Make a little bit less money. It's a financial independence. Security is really about not about how much you're bringing in, it's about how much is going out. So reduce the amount that's going out and then fill that void by finding alternate systems to put your labor into, right? Cheryl, the geriatrics Olympics. Yeah, the debates. This is crazy. Crazy. I'm just going to read some comments on Twitch. Hey, Cheryl, I've had the best success with no trying to convince, just sharing info. Eventually there are questions, and when handled calmly, bit of info get through. Yeah, I agree with Cheryl. You have to be patient. It's not going to happen the first time you meet someone, the second time, the third time. Slowly over time, most likely. Sometimes it'll happen the first, second time, right? Daz and Tranchicho, Midwestern American here, looking for a better place to live. Some friends of mine are thinking of southeastern Canada, the Maritimes. Maritimes? Eastern Canada. Have you spent time there, and would you recommend that area? Obviously going to research way more, but wanted to get your take. Southeastern, are you talking about Southern Ontario? I've actually been to every province and every territory at the time before they made you Nunavut, right? So I've been to Yukon, Northwest Territories, British Columbia. I just go across, and I spent a month in the Maritimes, if that's what you're talking about. It's very balkanized, if you want to think about it, to a certain degree right now. There are, in the same province, there are areas which are pretty good, depending on who's there and what services you have available, right? I'm talking about Ottawa, Montreal area. Oof. I've lived in Ontario for 5.5 years, 6 years, 5.5 years. I lived in Montreal short periods, a couple of months at a time. At once 2 months, and another time I was just there a lot. One time I lived there in Montreal for 2.5 months, 3 months or something. Love it. But there's serious in Ottawa. I wouldn't go to Ottawa. I did work in Ottawa. I spent some nights there doing some work and stuff like this. Ottawa has a bad effing vibe. I've never been to Washington DC, but I'm guessing it's the same type of vibe, but way more. I've never been to Washington DC. I've heard it's really dirty, like nasty. You feel like having a shower after interacting with some people. Ottawa is the same type, but the Canadian version of it, right? So I really didn't like Ottawa. I didn't. You're close to too many politicians and all the parasites that feed off that system, right? So for me, I want to decentralize. So I want to get away from central locations, right? Especially central federal government that rules over Canada. They're nasty, right? That's in trend, Chycho. Thanks a lot. Any neighboring places that you could recommend me looking into? Plurtino saying Canada might not be the move. Where would Chycho now live if he got to choose? Where would I live? Like for me, I haven't taken it that far yet. I've looked into it initially, but then elderly started getting older, so I stopped looking into it. Costa Rica seems to be a good place. Uruguay, Paraguay seem to be legit. Okay, but then again, Bolivia was looking good until they did a coup. But there's going to be problems coming there. Elder God just say KFC in Ontario now serves halal chicken only and no pork. Yeah, that to me, that seems weird to me, right? Let's look at so I didn't too dig too deep into it because I don't eat KFC ever. I had a friend that worked at KFC when I was in high school, right after high school, and he turned to me and said, Chycho, never eat KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, never eat it. I go, why? He goes, just trust me, I work there. Do not eat that stuff. Like, he goes, we don't eat it. We work there, we don't eat it. He goes, don't eat there. I said, okay. He was a good friend. I trust him. So look into it. Daystron. If I get the time, I might look into it because people have been asking. But to me, the best place to live is where you have the most amount of rights. And right now in Canada, I have the most amount of rights that I have, right? Crummy VCR, thank you, Chycho. I have been struggling with this duality for a while now. I find it a moral dilemma as of late. It's been tough. Yeah, I agree, VCR. Resisting the narrative, the low IQ rat narrative is hard, but it makes you stronger. Really, it makes you, and you come across instances that shock you. Like I've come across instances where it shocks me. I'm like I have to pause. I don't know how to react to someone's stupidity, right? To someone's comment. I just don't know how to react to it. I'm like, what? And then after the fact, like a few hours later or next day, you're like, oh, I should have reacted like this. So it puts you into practice of dealing with stupid people, right? And their stupid arguments, dealing with red rats. And you really need a little practice to deal with red rats, right? Because there are all types of red rats, right, in our society. And you'll be amazed at the different ways they come at you. It's like, how in the world could you think that way, right? Dangerous. There's an incident that just happened to me recently. What was it that caught me by surprise? There's something that really caught me by surprise. I was like, what? I didn't know what to say. No speech. First time chat, Lionheart. Do you think America will win a war against Russia? No one's going to win a war if Russia and the United States go at it. No one's going to win. It's going to go nuclear. Why is that not obvious to people? If I was fighting against someone else, just imagine two people fighting, and both their intentions, let's assume both their intentions is to kill the other person. Okay. I don't think Russia's intentions personally is to kill the United States, but the United States intention has been for the last 30 years to balkanize Russia, right? And that means the end of Russia, right? So if you're Russian, I hope you understand that the United States, the NATO agenda is to balkanize Russia, which means kill Russia. If you're American, please understand this, that Russia has never had the intention of killing the United States, not since the Iron Curtain came down, right? But let's assume they both intend to kill each other. If you're in a fight where both parties are planning to kill each other, and one is getting good footing in there, and they're about to kill this person. This person's got an ace in a hole, which is called pressing a button. Would you not press the button? Just imagine if it was you. Would you press the button? Who wins in that war? Bullshit. Nobody wins in that war. Lionheart, because if Ukraine joins the EU, then maybe Russia will declare war on the EU. No, Russia's already come out and said Ukraine can join the EU. They don't care, right? But the EU trade agreement that the EU wanted Ukraine to sign was that, I wrote about this, was the same type of trade agreement that they asked Armenia to sign. And Armenia's main trading partner is Russia. Ukraine's main trading partner is Russia, or was Russia, right? So Armenia, there were negotiations for 5 years with the EU, or 10 years, to join the EU trade agreement, right? And then when Armenia went to sign, the EU came out and said, oh yeah, by the way, you have to tear up the trade agreements you have with Russia. And Armenia's like, what? You guys, we're talking about this for 10 years, 5 years. This never came up. And then when we're about to sign, you tell me to sign a deal with you, I have to tear up a trade agreement I have with Russia? That's crazy. No, we can't do that. That's our main trading partner, right? They did the same thing with Ukraine, and Russia said, look, it's up to you, Ukraine, if you want to tear up our trade agreement, but that means all this is not going to happen. The energy, the trade deals we have, the zero tariffs and stuff like this, we have to renegotiate that stuff based on what you signed with the EU. So Ukraine at the time, the president said, no, we're not going to join the EU if we have to tear up the trade agreement with Russia, right? What happened after that? NATO and the EU started funding the neo-Nazis in Ukraine that led to the 2014 coup, right? So your question is irrelevant because it's wrong, it's false. Russia has always said to Ukraine, you can join the EU if you want. You can't join NATO because NATO is a military alliance. EU is a trade alliance, right? Partnership, right? Totally different. Totally different. A military partnership that's hell bent on balkanizing Russia. So Russia's like, no, this is the two people going at it, right? America coming in, Ukraine join NATO. We could put missiles, 4 minutes away from Moscow. Russia says, what? Are you out of your minds? Putin came out and said this, by the way, during a press conference in 2016 or something like this, to Western media, and said, look, you journalists, Western journalists, do you have any idea what your false reporting is doing? Is pushing the United States and Ukraine, United States and Russia to war, and that will lead to a nuclear war. It'll be annihilation of everything, including you and your families. Those politicians, Western politicians that are lying to you, and you know they're lying to you, right? Then why are you pushing this agenda, which is going to lead to two of the largest nuclear powers in the world going to war? And what did Western media do? They still continue to propagate the bullshit, right? It's crazy. I'm into my long answers, gang. I've been catching up on news and sitting back thinking about the situations now that school's over. Salute, gang. Salute. Gang, I'm at the bottom of the chat on Twitch. My apologies if I missed anything. Let me know if there's anything directed towards me. I'll address it. I'm just going to go back to CensorTube, read the chat there. Whatever that was directed at me. Weaver Chycho, an honest question. There's an Israeli death metal band headlining a gig in my country. This band has no publicity, denounced the war. Is it fair to assume they are Zion? No, it's not. If they came out, I would look into it. Like, I will not attend. Someone asked me this on Twitter. I I forget his name. He's been following my work on Twitter. He's been following me for a while. I forget. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I remember now. It's RO something something, right? He asked me how he was conflicted of the viral videos we're seeing of people not serving Zionists, right? But he said, what did he say? He said Israelis. I said no. There's a distinction, right? I will not attend any events that are being hosted by Israel or Israelis. May they be concerts, film festivals, I don't know what, right? However, I will look into it to see if they're artists, what their stand is. If they agree that Israel is committing genocide and they're resisting that genocide, I would support them wholeheartedly, right? If they were Israelis, Jews, or non-Israeli or Jews, right? If they came out and said there's Zionists, then they fully don't understand that what Zionism is. It's supremacist. It's same thing as a German coming out and saying I'm a Nazi. Well, okay. I don't think I'm going to come to your show today, right? But if they come out and said I'm a German, I'm against the Nazi ideology, then man, I'm going to get a ticket to go see your show, and I'm going to buy some tickets for friends to go see your show. I'm going to try my best to my budget to make sure that your show is sold out and you have support, right? So it's not about their ethnicity, or it's about their ideology, right? Right? Odino on Censor 2. Where's the Zionist project at and headed to? They're in the next phase where they've now occupying Gaza. They want to genocide Gaza, right? I don't know if they'll be able to. Now they've come out and said they want to occupy the Sinai, right? Egyptian land, right? That's their next phase, and they want to go into northern Lebanon. That's another phase, and we'll see where they're going. And they're what do you call it? Taken over more land in the West Bank than they have in the last 20 years. So they're occupying more land in the West Bank. So their agenda is complete, going further and further, right? I just have to approve a message on Twitch. I forget who. Yeah, Lionheart. I just have to approve your message. Twitch didn't like it. Yeah, the people who were the segment of the population that's the most anti-Zionist that I know of are Jews. Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, Norman Finkelstein, and a few other people that were pro boom boom that I'm not going to mention. At least they were anti-Zionists, right? Alex O, salute chycho. Hope you're well, brother. Doing well, man. Thank you very much. Brother Nature, do you think that LPR and DPR had a right to self-determination? LPR, DPR, are you talking about North and South Korea? LPR, DPR, acronyms, you got to tell me what they are, Brother Nature. Everyone acts like Zionism is unique to Israel. Half the countries on earth were formed the same way. An empire falls and things get split up. Yeah, history, but we're living through history right now. As Aaron Bushnell said, just think about, I'm paraphrasing, just think about what you would have done if you were living during Nazi Germany. You're doing it now. So you don't have to agree with what's taking place in history if it's happening at the moment, right? People's Republic. Are we talking about Brother Nature? Ihansk. I don't know what Ihansk is. Which country are we talking about? I don't know which country we're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with these really 3-letter agencies, 3-letter words. There's so many of them. You're talking about Ukraine. Okay. The Donetsk People's Republic. Okay, do they have right for self-determination? Yeah, every people have a right to self-determination, right? Every people do. Ukraine. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Brother Nature. Yeah, Donetsk People's Republic. Yeah, they all do. Chycho, do you have an FF? What's an FF number 52? Son, you're just messing with me, man. Eastern Ukraine, the oblasts, they have the right to self-determination, right? But we also have to consider, right, external forces that are pushing a certain agenda. Ukraine, right, for decades, for years, wanted to be neutral, right? Wanted to be neutral, right? And then with the EU agreement we talked about, the Ukrainian government at the time said, no, we're not going to cut our trade deal with Russia to sign an EU agreement. A year later, there was a coup in Ukraine. Now, was that an organic coup that happened in Ukraine? No. That was totally pushed by NATO and the EU, right? United States. So the people in that region, in Ukraine, that were living in peace, relative peace, right? That respected each other's religion, language, ethnicity, the right for individual self-determination, had an external force fund the living daylights, arm the living daylights out of a neo-Nazi fanatical sect to overthrow a democratically elected government and start a civil war there that was really a proxy war to balkanize Russia. So you can't just take DPR, what was it, LPR and DPR as what do you call it, closed system, and say, do they have a right to self-determination here and people have a right to self-determination here? Well, people would say, like me, would say that's not a closed system. The Eastern was being fed by NATO, EU, United States. The Western, you could argue, was being fed by Russia. So it's a proxy war. It's not about self-determination anymore. It's a proxy war. The people in that region succumb to a proxy war, right? That's what it is. Keanu Weaver. Some pro-Palestinian supporters are trying to boycott this gig because this band didn't state their stance. While I get the sentiment, I think it's unfair for the other bands who aren't from Israel. I disagree if it's unfair for other bands, right? Is it okay for you to boycott companies that are doing business with Israel? I would assume you would say yes, right? Because many people are boycotting BDS. That's what it's all about, right? Those bands, metal bands, or their promoters agreed to have an Israeli metal band open the show. Well, if I was living, I'll continue to use 1930s, 1940s Nazi Germany as if I was a musician playing gigs in the 1930s and my promoter had a Nazi German band singer open up for my show, I would say, no, I'm not cool with that, man. That would be my take. And if I was cool with that, then so be it. Charlie Chaplin would have boycotted your show. Charlie Chaplin was one of the top Hollywood creators of all time, was resisting Nazis, fascists in Hollywood before it became a fad and, you know, something that the United States government was pushing to pound the war drums, right? So good. Yeah, you boycott anyone you want. You have the right to boycott. You can boycott people who sell ice cream by the side of the road, right? I boycott junk food places. I don't eat at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, KFC. Am I anti-chicken because I don't eat KFC? Am I anti hamburgers if I don't eat McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King? No, I just think that's poison for the body and the mind and the soul. In this case, if I attend a Zion Nazi show, if I attend an event where those people support genocide, that's poison to my soul. That's poison to my soul. And you boycott whoever you want. Your life, your choice. Right, your life, your choice. Thank you, Synthberry. Very well said. Much shorter than I did. The C for Putin. The C for Putin. The C for Putin. It's unfair for the Ukrainian people to fight a war for interests of newcons. 100%. I can't believe they allowed it to go this far. They should have dealt with the tyrants much earlier. What do you think about the South African elections? I followed basically what the Duran covered, and I think I read one other article. So the DNC lost a lot of power, right? I think it's the DNC. Using, is that the right party? The Mandela Party, and then NC. No, what's it called? Not the DNC. DNC is Democratic National Convention. I think I forget what it is, but they're sharing now. Oh my God! Thank you for the cheers. Salute, salute. Cheers, cheers. Watching a butterfly. During the average, just for interest rates, friggin' banana pants. Salutations. It's a you thing based on several factors. I don't know what that is. Just type average age of Ukrainian soldiers. Yeah, the average age of Ukrainian soldiers, what is that, 45? Is that what it is now? Thank you, it did that. Isn't it 45 now? Slowly to come. ANC. Thank you very much, Brother Nature. ANC, not DNC. Hilarious. Friggin' banana pants. There were reportedly talks on the table to negotiate peace talks early on. Yeah, in Turkey. It's just a mess of money and bodies and ruined land now. Yeah. Oh, that was about BDS, the youth thing. Oh, that was okay. The BDS. Yeah. You boycott whoever you want. Boycotting in general. Yeah. You boycott whoever you want. Yeah. Synthberry said it. Yeah. Agreed. You boycott whoever you want. Okay. Yeah, and if I was Ukrainian, I'd be so effing pissed at EU, Europe, NATO, United States for sacrificing my people, my family, my land, the future of what was my country for their proxy war to balkanize Russia. There has to be, there must be so many angry Ukrainians that are angry at the Western world for doing what they did. Not more Ukrainians fled to Russia than they did to Europe, as far as I know, right? More Ukrainian refugees in Russia. What's gonna happen when things settle down and people start to digest what took place, right? I guess it really depends where you live and how the history is written, right? A real xenomorph. It's not the first time that the West sacrifices people for their own sake. No, that's their general rule book. Like, what was it say? There's a saying that says, being an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but being an ally of the United States is fatal, right? If you're a politician who were born in Gaza and you see your home and you're destroyed, what will you do? What will you do? What will you do? Since the Arab world will never forget or forget what Israel has done. No, I don't think the world will. Since I don't think the world will. The population of the world is never going to forget what Israel has done and Zionists have done. There are videos of people in Vietnam. I saw one. This person in Vietnam refusing to serve Zionists, right? And the Zionist family, you know, they got two kids, a wife, and the father, and he's videotaping it. Oh, you're not. They're playing the victim. You're not serving me. And the owner of the place says, Judaism is not Zionism, right? I do not serve Zionists, right? End of story. And if you believe in rights, free will, then you can boycott whoever you want, right? Friggin' banana pants. I'm in Canada, and our current and probably future parliament will be more than happy to help fund the proxy war in Ukraine. We have a large diaspora here. Yeah, 100%. And Israel, right? The conservatives that are coming in, and most likely they're going to get a majority, right? They're all in with World War III on the side of Israel, right? So that's all we're going to do. Canada has given, I think, either $6 or $9 billion to Ukraine. But Canadian money. You should see the homeless here. Canada, we're free fall here. Free effing fall here, right? Inflation through the roof, housing issue, crime, all over, homeless. Never ever has any Canadian seen homeless like this. No way, no how, nowhere, right? It's brutal. And we're giving $9 billion to the most corrupt country in all of Europe, and some people will say the most corrupt country in the world. We're giving $9 billion of Canadian taxpayer money to wage war against Russia. You gotta be one little low IQ rat breathing mammal to think that is okay, right? Insanity. The world, brother nature, the world forgot about the Uyghurs. No one's boycotting China. Gray Zone did amazing coverage of the Uyghurs in China. I'm pronouncing this wrong. When I was hearing it, I was pronouncing it right. Uyghurs in China, sure. China, totalitarian regime, totalitarian state, totalitarian government. They control everything, right? They have markets available for open markets. They're not communists, right? They're oligarchy, right? That's all they are, right? It's just, think of China as one gigantic corporation that is Uyghurs. Thank you very much, since they're Uyghurs, Uyghurs, right? So, but according to the Gray Zone, China was not committing genocide on the Uyghurs, right? There were certain elements there that they're fighting us. I haven't dug down into it, right? Because there's only so much I can process. But I don't know any situation where the Gray Zone hasn't provided a perspective that was pretty bang on, right? So that's a trusted source I go to, and I lean towards what the Gray Zone has been reporting for a number of years, and some of the ways I saw the propaganda being rolled out in the Western world. The same agenda that was pushing China's committing genocide on Uyghurs, right, that was being rolled out in the last few years, was the same playbook they used to start the war in Afghanistan, to invade Iraq, to start the war in Ukraine, to push injections, to do all this. It was the same way being rolled out. BLM, take a knee, dancing nurses, same way. I was like, this is not an organic movement coming from the ground up. This is top-down management, and it's coming from the West. That's the chycho radar going up, right? So I didn't bother going into it anymore. I took the gray zones analysis, right? Pronouncing gray zone analysis, and went with it, right? And the Duran was doing the same thing. Yeah, real xenomorph. Canada was an amazing place. They literally destroyed it. Friggin' banana pants. I'm on disability. They prioritize euthanasia over helping us. Yeah. Their most recent help will only help 40% of all PWD, people with disabilities. Oh, I figured that one out. They passed a budget of 6 billion for it, 200 million a month. 6 billion for the year. Yeah, the disabled in Canada. I've had friends that have been disabled. I have a diverse group of friends. I've always had all through my years. I had friends that I saw them go through MS. Man, effing brutal, right? And other friends that are disabled. Better than many other countries. Nothing compared to what it should be, and it's an embarrassment to Canada how we treat the disabled, the elderly, the youth in Canada. It's shame on Canada and Canadians that we have prioritized Wall Street, we have prioritized war. Corruption is, everyone now understands that the Canadian government is corrupt on all fronts, on every level. So Canada is going through major shift. We'll see where we end up. It's not looking good. It's going to take a couple of decades minimum to get back on the right track, right? Yeah, 75 friggin' banana, 75 billion for those fighter jets. Uneffing believable, right? One of the first things the Harper government did before Trudeau, they bought smart bombs to drop on Libya when the Western governments annihilated Libya. Right? Garbage. We have garbage politicians and garbage bureaucrats. It's a garbage system here. Daz and Trans, chycho, got to head into work. Thanks for the excellent stream. That was a great announcement to my day. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Dave's Trans. Salute. Hope you enjoy the work day. Lionheart. In my country, South Africa, in 2023, on March, the government supported Putin, but now because of US, my country dislikes Putin. Really? The election sort of shifted that? That's crazy if they did. That's crazy if they did. Friggin' banana. The purpose of a system is what it does. No, 200 million per month, 6 billion over 6 years. Okay, so billion. So it's not $200. 200. Oh, 200. You get $200 per month. That's it. Oh man, 6 billion over 6 years. Billion a year. You get $200 a month. Effing crazy. X, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Too many elections in 2024. Hard to keep up. This should be a warning to people. We're going through a major global domestic and geopolitical shift. Let's see how all the pieces land, right? Brother Nature, how did this happen to Canada? In the US, we always thought you guys had it together. No, it was through the education system. Brother Nature, I saw this being rolled out about more than 15 years ago in Canadian education, where they started introducing the woke agenda, diversity. This is after Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street, right? So under Obama, they got rid of Occupy Wall Street, right? and they realize that people are getting together, right, and realizing who the enemy is, right? So they devised a plan to divide and conquer us, right? Which is something that Chase Hudson mentioned. Divide and conquer, the classic play of a ruling class. Divide and conquer. So they introduced diversity and the woke agenda into our education system in Canada. And I started seeing, like, they were having, like, I shit you not, I had students, right, that I was teaching mathematics and physics to, where they would have one math class a week or two math classes a week where they're supposed to have like 4 or 5, right? I said, how come you guys haven't done anything beyond what you've been working on for like 2 months? They slowed down the math education so much, education in general. And my students would say, oh, we had an assembly on Friday on diversity. I go, what do you mean? They said, well, they canceled all the classes. They took us to the assembly, canceled math class anyway, half the day, and they started talking about diversity. I saw one of my students that I was teaching for a number of years. It started off with diversity, and then went to LGBT, and then went to LGBTQ, and then went to LGBTQ plus plus plus. And per year, I taught this kid for 5 years, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 years in high school. During those 5 years, it went from diversity assemblies, one a month or one every 2 months, let's say, to almost one a week. And they took it from diversity education all the way to LGBTQ plus and environment, and the environment, climate change agenda that we're pushing before that, Al Gore, right? So for the previous 10 years, they were doing climate change. The world is sinking. The tides are right. Even I bought into it a little bit at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, this sucks. And then I'm a geophysicist. I dug into it. I'm like, wait a second, this is BS. And I recognized that this was the same type of propaganda that was coming through when they were trying to start a war with Afghanistan and all the other BS. Same playbook, right? So that's what it was. It's through education, right? So we have a whole ton of really confused kids and adults now. Friggin' banana pants. Let's check this out. Most provincial programs give around $1,200 per month. The Fed said they'd help lift PWD, what was that? People with disabilities out of poverty. An extra $200 that only 40% of us are only 40% of you are eligible for, as it is. Won't help us, many of us. No. $1,200 a month. Nah, insanity. I had a friend that was disabled hardcore, right? And he needed a wheelchair, right? He waited, this was years ago. This is like, how many years ago? Long time ago. 2014, about 18 years ago. He had to wait months to be able to get a motorized wheelchair, right? They provided him a wheelchair where he could, do this. Wasn't too much help, like, not nice, man. And it took him I'm laughing because I'm about to tell you a story. It took him about 3 years to be able to get an electric wheelchair, right? And that gave him mobility, so freedom, right? So him and his girlfriend at the time had MS, and she was someone, really nice lady, really nice girl. She used to run every day, long marathon runner, right? She used to go to Wreck Beach every day, and she got MS, and slowly I saw the body deteriorate, right? The last time she went to Wreck Beach was with me and both of them, they're both semi-disabled, and I helped them get down to Wreck Beach because she used to go there a lot. And she was walking with a cane at the time. She's just making me so we went there, right? But my friend got a motorized wheelchair around the same time that she got a motorized wheelchair, so they were zooming around. it's miserable, like really pain 24 hours. It varies. He drank, she was on pills, and so there was a period where they were partying together with their motorized wheelchair, right? And then she couldn't do no more. But my friends could still do. So me and him went to see. We went to see Black Alicious, and not Burning Spear, but I forget his name. Um, he's he's played with Burning Spear before. Not reggae. He does a little bit of reggae, but it's more inspirational. Not Burning Spear. Spear. I forget who it is. We went to a concert, and if you know Vancouver, at Burnaby Lake, outdoor venue, right? So it was Black Alicious opening up, not for Burning Spear, but more positive. Burning Spear is heavy, more positive. He's a reggae guy, big guy, black guy, singing, big band. We were partying. He was drinking his ass off. Fun guy, drinking, smoking, just awesome time. And he was on his wheelchair doing his thing. I was roaming around everywhere doing my thing, and he goes, take my wheelchair for a ride. So I hopped in his wheelchair, and it was going uphill, and it broke, and I broke his wheelchair. I was like, it was devastating, it was very heavy, and he was like, oh my god, you broke my wheelchair, you little shit. I was like, sorry dude, sorry man. So I said, okay, you sit here, I have to wheel you around and stuff like this. I know, brother, but we were both stupid, right? We didn't like. He would get it fixed. It would take a little bit of time. He was a mechanic. He knew how to do mechanics, so I think he fixed it up himself in a couple of days or something like this, right? But at the time, nighttime was coming, peaking concert, and I was dancing with some friends of mine, and I went up to them. I said, I gotta go. I broke my friend's wheelchair. I'm gonna have to wheel him out, and we gotta get out of here. Right? And I turned around, and there was these girls behind me, and one of them I was very interested in from before, and they were tracking me because she wanted to interact with me, and she caught me at a bad time. Like, it was a time where we could have hooked up easy, because I was having a great time, she was having a great time, as I noticed. And I turned to her, I said, oh my god, great to see you, I would love to stay with you, but I can't, I broke my friend's wheelchair. Roll him out. So I was like, fuck. Right? But it was devastating. I saw the look on his face. He was very distraught. It took him 3 years to get that chair, and it was what it was, right? He was a tough cookie. And for the record, for those of you that have been following some of the live streams, it's the friend that we decided to part ways with, right? That's how close we were. Okay, that's how close we were. So fun times, interesting times. But friggin' banana pants, you understand, right? You understand. Amazing. The kid, did you see France left party won? Left party won. I thought Le Pen's party won. Drock. John Devitt, chycho, are these guys coming to Europe? Why? Which guys? If it is to kick off in Europe, what do you, as the prelude to such events, the Olympics perhaps, the Ukrainian, the neo-Nazis? Yeah, there's lots of Ukrainian neo-Nazis there. As for other people, yeah, France, the Olympics is not going to be a good time. I would not be going there. And Olympics, Olympics. Yeah, France is going to do a second round. They're just trying to prevent Le Pen from getting a majority, right? We'll see. Is the second round right now the kid? Is the left winning? It's just a temporary band-aid for them, right? Because France is going into civil unrest, let's call it. Let's check it out. Thanks, gang, for clarifying. Let's check it out. Elder God, according to early estimates by Polling Institute IFOP, replicated by other pollsters, the left-wing alliance is on course to have between 880 and 215 MPs in France's 577-seat National Assembly. That puts it ahead of Macron's liberals at 150 to 180 seats, with the far-right National Party of rally and its allies forecast to have 120 to 150 MPs in the new legislature. Okay, thank you very much, Elder God. It's just a stopgap measure, right? And tell you the truth, France is going to go, Europe, the West is going to go through some effing hard times in the next few months, few weeks, few months to a few years, right? So do you really want to be on the helm of driving the Titanic, right? They maybe the right could have prevented what is to come. I don't think so. We're in the West going through an economic demise in large part. So how it's going to play out, it really depends how the political parties are, right? So if the left is getting in France, it's going to be worse than if it was on, the right going in, right? So that's the way I see it. Chemeka 1212, to allow people who didn't get a chance to vote to do so, and leftists won today. They just won mysterious black boxes. It's the nail in the coffin of socialism, what's going on right now. I think that's what's happening. I'm in agreement with Martin Armstrong and Paul Craig Roberts on that front, that what we're seeing is the last breath of socialism, and it's going down the toilet, right? And everything's being thrown out, including the kitchen sink, right? This is Britain. How are you doing? I bet you broke the wheelchair on purpose. No, I didn't. I was having an amazing time, man. And man, when I saw the girl there, when I turned around and she was right behind me with another girl, that I was like, oh, I wish I could have stayed. But you stick to your brothers, right? Had to make sure he was okay, right? Jose, do you ever see EVs replacing internal combustion engines? All of them, no. Or do you see hybrid or hydrogen cars taking over instead? I think hybrid is the best way to go. Personally, that's my take. Jose, I don't think EVs are environmentally probably the most unsound thing we could do, right? Hybrid works, and hybrids have been around a long time. They stood the test of time, right? Hydrogen, I don't know. We'll see where the technology takes us, right? Brad, hey friend, God help us if we get Kamala. Well, it's not the Kamala that matters, it's who the vice president is going to be. Because if I was Kamala, I would not be getting on any small planes, right? No small planes, right? Especially when they appoint her vice president, especially if her vice president is going to be Hillary, right? Because Kamala lifespan is not going to be long. Green looks fat with thanks, Brad. Bros before hoes, yeah. If you want to put it that way, Brad. It's a more crude way to say it, but the girl wasn't a hoe. I know that. Maybe I don't know. Would have been a nice hookup. But yeah, bros before, 100%. There's no question about it, right? No question about it. Plutonic Forest, majority of citizens of France are against the current Ukraine policies, but the political oligarchy is doing their politics detached from the citizens. Yeah. Plutonic Polaris, salutations. Welcome back. Hope you're doing good. Marco A. Chycho just finished eating some barbecue. Oh, sausages, nice. Beautiful day in the greater Toronto area. Very nice, very nice. Barbecue right now would be amazing, right? Would be amazing. Kamika, I got a job offer as a data engineer in France, currently living in a less rich country, North Africa. Do you think I should go for it, even do better my finance situation in the short term? Yeah, yeah. If you're doing something data managed, like if you're gonna get a job that's gonna allow you to work from home, maybe work from office, I don't know, that's gonna pay you well to improve your situation, yeah, just make sure you're not working to commit genocide. You're not doing something that affects your moral belief, right? Still have to live with yourself, right? So if you get a job to sorting Palestinians, right, according to some database that Israel's giving you, so how they can more efficiently kill them, i.e., if you're working for Facebook and Instagram, then you're morally compromised. You're working towards committing genocide. F you, right? If you're just sorting data for, finances or something like this, whatever. Elder God, actually in France, it's the migrant vote messing up the polls. Same in the UK. Yeah. In the United States, it's just announced that you don't even have to be a citizen to vote. Something like that, along those lines. We now have 4 Hamas-linked MPs in Parliament in the UK. Elder God, tell you the truth, how many, think about it this way, how many Zionist linked MPs do you have in the UK? Aside from the 4 and Galloway that got kicked out and Corbyn that just got in, the rest would be Zionist linked, right? So you got 4 Hamas versus everybody else Zionist linked. I don't know. Personally, I would go with someone that's not linked to either one. That's what I would do. Plutarchus, the Labour government will probably have intense battles within their different factions. Indeed, yeah. Lionheart, did you know that mostly all our political support Palestine except the Democratic Alliance that gives 50 million rand to Israel? Really? Damn. What the F? How in the world is Zionists, well, printing money, right? How in the world does Zionists get so many of their agents in all these countries? Right? It's crazy. John, so is Europe to go through something worse than 2000 economically? Yeah, way worse. Took me 12 years to get over 2008. Where to go? Yeah. John, the financial demise of the Western world is going to be at least an order of magnitude more than what was 2008. Make sure you've taken the right measures to protect yourself. It's going to be way worse. 2008 was a test run. This is going to be way worse. Marco Chycho, in your opinion, is Trump a Zionist? Yeah, Trump's a Zionist. JFK is a Zionist. Not JFK, RFK Jr. is a Zionist. Biden is a Zionist. By his own words, he's a Zionist, right? You have Zionists running the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, as far as I know, almost all of Europe or EU, right? How? Like, how? Plurtino, Chycho, what is your opinion on Singapore? Are they doing right? Will they survive in the new world? Yeah, Singapore I think is going to do okay. I don't know too much about it, but Singapore is very stable under fucking iron fist, but very stable. You don't have freedom of speech, or you got freedom economics in Singapore to a large degree, but you don't have freedom of speech there, so you have to be careful what you do. But I think Singapore will stay out of the war, and economically it's going to fare well. Bubblehead Boy 01, good morning from Australia. Chycho, salutations, hope you're doing well. Do you think Biden will eventually step down? Uh, Most likely. Like one thing about Biden here, this is something that one of the reasons I follow Martin Armstrong is because fucking brilliant, right? He gives you a perspective that you don't get in a lot of other places because he knows his history, right? He comes through it from a realm of economics and through history. Sure, he has his own political agenda there, right? I don't agree with all of it, but I read his stuff. I've slacked off a little bit. I haven't read everything that he's been putting out, but getting the gist, checking in every now and then, right? Chicago, Brad. What's your opinion of Chicago? Nice city. Too bad about the politics, right? But here's what Martin Armstrong said about Biden-Trump debate, right? He mentioned, and I haven't checked into this. I'm taking Armstrong's word for it. I know he's wrong every now and then, but not in terms of U.S. domestic politics and history, right? And in large part economics, except related to cryptos, right? He came out and said United States debates don't happen until after the nominations of the two parties, right? The Democrats and the Republicans. And those nominations don't happen until August or September, and the debates happen after the party nominations. This time they did the debate before the party nomination, right? So as far as I know, Trump is not hasn't been officially nominated and Biden hasn't been officially nominated. That's what Martin Armstrong's saying. So you have to ask, why did they hold the debates before the party nomination now? And according to Martin Armstrong, they did it, right, to give time for someone else to step in after the nomination, right, during the nomination period. Or if he steps in, then they nominate him and then he steps down, Kamala steps in, or he wins and then he steps down and Kamala takes over and they put Hillary Clinton as the vice president. Not I don't know if Martin Armstrong mentioned this, but he didn't put it all together in one shot. It's multiple sessions, and Kamala gets taken out and it's Hillary and Michael Obama, right, possibly as vice president, right? So right now, just thinking about it, what's the best combo that they can have to run against Trump? It's not Biden, it's not Kamala, all right? Gaggling idiot, right? The best combo that I could see that could beat Trump would be Hillary and Michelle Obama, because they hit the female vote as best as they can and lay in the black vote, right? So Hillary and Obama, two females, Hillary's turn and Obama's next, right? Michelle Obama and Michael Obama, right? So that maybe would give a boost to them, but that's something to consider. Look into Big Mike. Look into see that. Look at cracks me up. Look into when the previous debates in the United States have happened, right? And if all of those debates happened later on in the year, after the nominations occurred for each of the parties, Democrat and Republican, then we should be asking ourselves, why did they hold the debates now? Maybe because they know Biden is deteriorating so fast that he'll probably take off his pants if they try to hold the debate later and clean his poop, right? Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Interesting times. Interesting times. Like, this is the most powerful country in the world? The exceptional? Man, damn. Crazy, crazy. Marco, I'm starting to explore safer places to relocate given what's to come. Saying this is a young man. Canada is going to shit. Canada is going to shit. Farmland. You need, wherever you're going to, you need access to water, preferably a well that's not near a garbage dump or a nuclear dump or a mining site or a fracking site, right? So you need land with your own well, right? Good water supply, that you're not skimming off the top of the water table, right? You're nicely deep into it, wells replenishing at a good rate. And you need land, soil, right? So it's not, and where you have more freedoms, but someplace away from the big cities where you can grow your own food, build a good network, right? Important. Bring back Captain Kangaroo. Yeah, hilarious. Lionheart. Mostly the minority ruled the nation in the past, but that time crime was very low. Time crime. I don't know what time crime. But I think that that time is changing. That was something about the imperial agenda, right? They went into Africa, armed the living daylights out of the minorities, put them in power, and said, "Do whatever you want to the majority." Mr. Chunky, hello from Russia. How you doing? Salut, Russia. Storoshnyashka? How do you say it? Kenat in Armenian. Besalamati in Persian. Salut in, I don't know, I guess a lot of languages. Cheers in English. Marco Chicho, if you were a 21-year-old university student living in Canada, what would you do to set yourself up for what's to come? Silver links. What would I do if I was 21? Um, Precious metals are important. I would make sure I'm well. Miss Balloon Hands, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I would make sure I'm educated in tech. I would make sure I'm on using social platforms that have encryption, right? So I would not, if I was 21 years old, I would not be on Facebook. I would not be on Instagram. I would not be on Reddit with my real link to everything. I would not be on Twitter with my real name or anything like this. I would not be on any of the main platforms, okay, with anything associated to me directly, including Gmail. I would go through Proton Mail or one of the other, um, what do you call it, encrypted email services, right? So if I was 21, I would make sure that I had my anonymity in place and my privacy in place. That is ridiculously important. Ridiculously important. Really. I'm I'm out. If you want to think about it that way, right? I'm out. All right. There's a lot of things linking me to who I am, not uh, not in ways that I'm on the radar, but I am. But it's hard to link me up because I've decentralized my data, right? I don't have my name and finances, all that jazz linked up to everything, right? I would be buying and selling things in cash only, only within reason. Some stuff you can't help it, eBay and shit like this, but wherever I could, I'd be paying in cash. Don't use your bank account and Visa and MasterCard and shit like this, because that's linking you up to who you are, right? So you would make sure, if I was 21, west living in the Western world or China or anywhere, right, make sure you create you have privacy with your digital identity, right? Cryptos are problematic right now because, nice bird singing, problematic right now to a certain degree, but whatever, right? But I would stay with the privacy coins, Monero and the like, instead of Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like this, right? Precious metals I mentioned, but precious metals you would have a little bit on the side. I would di- diversify my income. I would for sure make sure I was diversified in my income, right? So make sure you don't have one central body that you depend on to have money coming in. I would reduce my expenses and build up my savings. Okay. I would look into local farms and whatnot, start buying, eating healthy. Eating healthy, extremely important, extremely important. I would not get any boom booms. I would meditate, stay physically fit. Okay. What else? What else? I would read books. I would get my news from independent news sources. I would not be consuming any corporate political news, including the CBC, right? Unless you want to see what they're feeding the masses, right? I would not get married. Don't lock yourself in. But if you're with a partner, stay true. Okay, stay true with your partner and make sure you're both on the same page. I would grow food if I could. As soon as we finish this, we're gonna take down some lettuce. Okay. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Who asked that question? Who asked that question? Oh yeah, Marco. I hope that helps, Marco. Okay. And I would definitely not be working for the government. Do not work for government on any level, right? Municipal, local, provincial, federal. No government employment, because at some point all that funding is going to die off and your job's going to be cut. Especially since you're 21, because it's all about seniority. It's not about who you are, what you can do, or anything, right? Prove yourself. Work hard. Make sure that you're hooked up with people that you respect and they respect you back, right? Because when the time comes, they will turn to you and you can turn to them. Okay. Brad Chycho, are we need is our all we need is our comics and popcorn and enjoy the shit show, Brad. I got lots of that. Marco, well said. I appreciate that, man. It's so hard to stay away from negative shit in this world. Yeah, Marco, there's so much positive going on. I'm about to show you me harvesting lettuce that is absolutely amazing to eat. Like, this makes some of the best salad and best cuckoo you ever had, right? And it keeps me healthy, keeps us healthy. Okay. First time chat. I'm on the bottom of chat, gang, on Twitch and on Censor 2. First time chat on Twitch. George 10111100. How much time a day or week do you think is necessary to study math? I'm working through a textbook I like, but I worry that I am not consistent enough. It really depends what level of mathematics. George, it really depends what level of math. If you're trying to learn high school mathematics, you need, and every person's different, you need to do enough to be able to progress and not get bored and not continue to make the same mistakes. If you're making certain type of mistakes doing a certain process, algorithm, solving equations and stuff, look into the mistake. What is it that you're doing, right? So you have to go according to what you know, your needs, really, right? I know people, I've known people, I've taught people that learn that stuff like this, right? Learn stuff like this. I know people that, it takes them 2 weeks to learn, for someone to learn something that takes them 5 minutes, right? That's the difference. Thanks, Cheryl. Love these. You're gonna love it. 2024 is 51.75% done. In Canada, I think you're still paying your taxes. All the time you're working, you're still paying taxes. It's all going to taxes right now, right? I think anyway. Jamaica. Make sure you are studying in a technical field also. Make sure you know technical stuff, but you also know hands-on stuff. Make sure you know how to build something, or at least be able to figure out how to build something, which means you're going to have to learn math, right? The most important 2 things you can learn in your life: mathematics and your natural language, English, whatever it is you're speaking, right? I think the most popular language in the world right now is Spanish, spoken with most people. I think in Canada, Canada, United States, or North America, half the population of North America is going to be Spanish speaking by 2050, something along those lines. So for me, it'd be a good idea to learn Spanish. But I'm in France. I'm in Canada, so the Spanish-speaking necessity isn't going to be coming up here as soon as it is in the United States, right? This is a cigar. This is a Cuaba Exclusivo, one of these. We're into this now, right? Doop. Doop. Right? We're down to the end of it. It's such a delicious smoke, heavy. By the way, this is a strong cigar. If you can handle Cuban cigars, and Cubans are some of the strongest cigars you always smoke, this will put a smile on your face. George, I learned math pretty fast, but then forget it pretty quickly though. Here's the thing: if you learn fast, depending on where you are, right, what level of math you're in, learn the basic stuff really fast, solving equations, and get into graphing. As soon as you get into graphing, just do graphing, lines, parabolas, polynomials, quadratics, polynomials, logarithmic, exponential, discontinuous functions. Just get into graphing, right, and analyzing the functions, because all that stuff is going to be, you're going to practice everything before that in that stuff, right? So you're going to get a lot of practice, and so you won't forget the rudimentary stuff, right? That's why when I teach mathematics, I try to get people through the rudimentary stuff as fast as I can, even though they might be making a little bit of mistakes here and there. I'm not trying to make them perfect, right? I'm trying to get them to a level where they can do more exciting mathematics, more relevant mathematics, because they're going to get plenty of time to practice the rudimentary stuff while they're analyzing more complicated stuff, right? That's the trick to teaching mathematics. Our centralized indoctrination system is spending all the time in the rudimentary stuff trying to get them to do everything perfectly. Wow, that doesn't work. That's garbage. That's a trap, right? Marco, would you recommend trade jobs in Canada, like being an electrician and construction worker? To a certain degree, right? I recommend trade work always, right? Because that's hands-on. For me, one of the best jobs you can get, right, as long as you're aware, right? Because a construction site can be extremely dangerous. I've known people that died at construction sites, right? But for me, one of the best jobs youth can get is working in a construction site. I started working in a construction site, building houses, because our family was into development, right? When I was like 14 years old. I remember one of the jobs I was doing, I was like 13 years old. I was tasked with the job of leveling the floor of the garage, because they were going to pour concrete on it, right? And it wasn't ground that was all soil. It had rocks in it, right? So I tried to level it, and I hit a little bump, right? Well, okay, I got to get rid of this rock. You don't know how big this rock is. Sometimes it was a small boulder, sometimes a big rock, until you expose a little bit. You're exposed. All of a sudden, I found out that I want to level the ground, and I have to give it a slope, right? The minutest slope, right? That water goes into the drain, right? So I would try to level this shit, and then I hit some kind of boulder, and then sometimes you have to dig, and it just ends up being a gigantic boulder that you got to take out. That's like a bloody day job, but that builds up your leg strength, your back strength, your arm strength, your wrist strength, your patience, your strategic, your strategy of how you're going to get this gigantic boulder out of the ground, right? So that's hands-on, right? That's a trade as far as I'm concerned. Brad, that's how I am with math. It's almost like a hobby. You don't use it, yeah. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? Use it. We had a friend that said it, but he was saying it more along the lines of intimacy, right? He would say, use it or lose it, I would not recommend him as a role model, but that was a good saying. George, that makes sense. I won't worry about moving forward too quickly then. Yeah, George, once you get into analysis, functions, data analysis, stuff like this, you can slow down and start analyzing data that you like, right? Analyzing data that you like. We put out the cigar gang. Should we harvest some lettuce? Because I'm enjoying our stream. We're hour and 36 minutes in. Let's harvest some lettuce, and we'll see how we go with that. But I'm loving the cigar. I feel like lighting up another one and drinking more gin. Chase, hands-on work that requires lots of dexterity is a good choice as well, because automation is going to take a lot longer to affect those careers rather than most white-collar careers. Great advice, Chase. Great advice. Padre, how are you doing, Chycho? Bet you gained a lot of perspective on that job too. A lot of perspective. Oof, construction. Problem solving as well. It was brilliant. Miss Balloonhands, I can't do math in my head. I've never been good at it. I'm super visual and need to write things down. Miss Balloonhands, perfect. I tell my students try to do calculations in their head. I go, are you trying to do that multiplication in your head? This, like, literally, this is what I tell my students, and they're like, yeah. I go, I can't do it in my head. I write it down. I go, I've been teaching you. You've been seeing me do simple multiplication on the board with the pen. Why are you trying to do it in your head? Mathematics is not about being a calculator. Mathematics is understanding the syntax of the language to be able to use math in your life, right? When I try to multiply two-digit numbers together, 2 and 2, I write it down and multiply it out. I don't try to do it in my head. Why am I using brain cells to try to do that? That doesn't make sense to me, right? But some people, that's what they're promoting in school. Do it in your head, memorize it. Why? That doesn't make sense. Let's cut some green. Elder God recommends. Real Fringe on Rumble, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Padre, going back to school this fall, working towards mechanitronics technician. Mechanitronics technician, that's a cool word. Gang, let's do this. Let's harvest some greens, some lettuce specifically, and there's going to be some chard in there too. Okay, there's going to be some chard in there too. So I'm not going to read chat. More snacks. Oh, I got straw. Yeah, let me show you snacks. More snacks. Watch this. Yeah, more snacks from the lettuce. I grow strawberries here. We had one that came up, was really good, but I don't grow too many strawberries because we have amazing farm that provides amazing strawberries. So we went and bought, okay, like I just cracked this open, the lid, and the smell of strawberries is insane, right? So there's a local farm here that these are organically grown, their own strawberries, and every year in season I go and buy a ton of strawberries, right? Your patio looks fun. You must be, yeah, Victoria, West Coast, right? The best strawberries, like really amazing strawberries, right? Like so good. This is the last bit. We got another amount this much of a whole flat that we bought like 3 days ago. It's insanely good. Like so good. Thanks, Chase. The garden is amazing. And the kitty cats love it. They love going to the catio up there and sleeping. Sal is sleeping there right now. Via was sleeping. He took off while we were doing the live stream. So, gang, strawberries. That's too yummy. Birdie here, how you doing? What's up? Have you already discussed the election results in France? Yeah, we just got it. I got the info during the live stream. Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. Astro Sweet, how are you doing on Rumble? My husband Astro Sweet sends his salutations to Astro Sweet and Real Fringe on Rumble. Awesome. Yeah, these are non-GMO and no pesticides, all organic. It's a great farm, really good farm. Gang, let's harvest some lettuce. Okay, I'm not gonna read the chat because I get caught up with the chat. We're just gonna harvest lettuce right now. I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, this is what you can grow in pots. I'm gonna show you how big these pots are, right? And these weren't in the patio, they were in the front because lettuce doesn't need real direct hot sun because it burns the leaves and stuff like this. It needs a little bit of shade, sun, a certain amount of time during the day, right? So less sunny area better for lettuce. Okay, so let's do this. Hold on, let me move this. By the way, recognize these? These are cannabis plants. We got grown two this year, right? Boy, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good. Now, let's bring this over. I'm gonna put this here. Nice. Let's just put it here so you guys can see it. Let's do this. Here, I'm gonna cut the leaves and put them in this. Let's start off with this one here first. Take a look. Right. Right. This is the lettuce, and over on this side is chard. I'm going to take the chard down as well. Right. See this? The chard got a little burnt, a little dried. Right. But the lettuce is doing fantastic. Okay. Let's bring this closer. Let's take down the chard first on this side. I'm gonna get rid of the dried leaves so I don't harvest them. Get rid of these here. Let me do a little rotation. This one is a little bit burnt here, so we're just gonna cut that off. Don't need that. Okay, the extra leaves I'm just gonna throw down here and then get rid of them later. I'm gonna leave the little leaves still in there because they'll grow. Because chard is delicious too. And cuckoo chard is fantastic, or you just cook it up. This one is, see this? I'm growing a lot of chard, so I'm not gonna bother keeping that one. Okay, that's it. We'll keep this. This amount is chard. We'll just keep this. Okay. So, just a little bit of chard. Just a little bit of chard. Now, let's take down the lettuce. Oh, here's another chard. Let's take this down too. Not bad. And this is butter lettuce, so the leaves they stick together a lot. So I'm gonna try to, without destroying it, here, I'm gonna do this. So check this out. All right. Amazing salad. Amazing salad. And the bottom leaves are more like they have that red tint and they're like flatter for some reason. Nice. Lettuce. Oh, here's a spider. See it? He's trying to get back on the lettuce. Here, let's put you here. Go on. Atta boy. Right. Fantastic. Super good, super good. Let's take this. Very nice. So this is how much lettuce we got off this one pot, right? Fantastic. So this is how big the pot is. This. Let's just leave it there. Now let's take down this one. Okay. All right. This is all lettuce. And I was really happy. I brought these guys up from the front of the house about 4 days ago, and I was really happy that I did it. The reason is the next day a deer had come and eaten about 2.5 chard pots. They'd eaten chard and collard greens, about 4 pots total, right? So they ate all the collard green and all the chard, and they would have eaten this. They did it last year. I had lettuces like this last year, 2 of them down there, and I was about to harvest it, and I said I'll wait until tomorrow morning. And when I went there in the morning, they were all eaten, right? So I beat the deer. So let's take this down. Hold on. I might go grab another container. I'm gonna go grab another container as well. Okay. I'll be right back. Here's this one. We can put a little bit more on this, right? I'm going to fill up this one. They're about the same size. This one's a little deeper. Right? Nice. Look at this. Beautiful. And what I'm going to do is empty these out. Most likely they might start give more of these, but probably in a couple of weeks I'm going to put more lettuces in this, right? So from this pot, this is what we got, right? Now I'm not sure how much organic lettuce is sold for where you are, but you know, that's money, right? And you can't, like, this is lots of love, organic. I grew it myself. This is the best tasting lettuce I've ever had, right? And you can't actually really buy butter lettuce in stores because it's too fragile, right? And let's take down this one. Look at this, so nice. Like, really. Super good. No, this one. Different. Very nice. Very nice. That's okay. We're gonna have some salad today. Fantastic. Check this out. Those two pots, this. Ooh. Losing lettuce. Right. So from 3 pots, this is what we got, right? Anybody can grow this. I'm just growing them in pots, and they're not very big pots. I mean, they're not huge pots, and this is just lettuce, right? Fantastic, fantastic. I'm gonna go put these in the kitchen. I'll be right back. And we have this much waste. Huh? Put those there. Very good. Very good. Fantastic. And I've already taken down the lettuces on the bed here that we have. I'm going to plant more lettuces in probably 2-3 weeks again. Right. Real French damn. Deer need to grow their own lettuce, their own produce, yeah. Intrepid Drums, how are you doing? Is asking, what do you use for potting mix soil? I used some of the soil from last year, sea soil, chicken manure, mushroom compost, and some what was the other one? Just regular compost. I don't have any more here. So just organic and all organic mixes. So old soil from previous year and new soil from this year that I buy. Homegrown lettuce tastes so good. Big Chase indeed. Love to use leafy greens as a wrap for beef. Delicious. Delicious. Chase, a salad with those greens would be so good. So good. So good. I can attest to it. I've been eating it for a couple of weeks now. You need bunny for your scrap. Yeah, true. Chatham, where'd Chycho go? I just got on. You make a ghillie suit or something. I don't know what a ghillie suit is. Right, Chycho. Are you more of a Marvel or DC fan? I'm more of an independent fan, to tell you the truth. I like independent comics more than Marvel or DC. Right? Chat, also, if you all could send some good vibes my way, it would be greatly appreciated. I take the bar exam at the end of this month and the stress is below. Oh, lots of love, chat, lots of love. Good luck with the bar exam. Stressful. Johnzuk, yeah, I have lots of kale here. Lots of kale. Have you ever grown kale? Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, very nutritious. Very nutritious. Or a turtle. Turtle. I would love to have a turtle, but I don't think a turtle would like living in my patio. The turtle wants to be able to free. Big cheese. I grow lettuce, peas, green beans, and ganja. Yeah, cannabis. Me too. I got cannabis here. Cannabis over here. Sorry, two of the plants this year. Siblings. I hear lots of sirens in the background. It's on top of. It's on stop non-stop in my town. Highly injected seniors where I am. Yeah, now here too, we're near a hospital, so boom boom gets you in, right? Jonah Callis Waga, the crime in Putkamin, a crime committed between March 12th and March 16th, 1974 by the UPA group commanded by Max, alias Max, with the help of the 4th SS Police Regiment, composed of Ukraine. Yeah. Brad, kale gives me kale gas. Cook it up really nice, right? And don't eat the stem part, just take the leaf part, right? Just take the leaf part. Ghillie suit. What's a ghillie suit? That would be great on the patio. What's ghillie suit? Padre saying, good luck, homie, you got it, regarding the test. Barf face, how are you doing? I'm going to go check on my pumpkin patch. Nice. It's gotten massive. Wish me luck. I don't find any creepy crawlers. You for sure, if in the yard you're gonna find creepy crawlers, but they provide food. Right? What do you think the deal between Hamas and Israel is gonna be like? Hard to say. It's gonna. I don't know. Oh, sniper camouflage suit. Is that what it is? Ghillie suit is a sniper camouflage suit. Hilarious. I go scare the kitty cats. That'd be funny. Ghillie suit is worn by snipers to camouflage themselves. Really? Is that what it's called? Did not know that. I don't want to be a sniper. They use grasses or branches to make it. Ah, okay. I'll use lettuce. The deer will follow me. They'll know where chycho sniper is. Just follow the deer. Just follow the deer. This is Britain. Have you heard of a comic called Imposter by 21 publishers? I have number one, but no others seem to exist, although it is supposed to be 4-part series. Did they stop after? No, I don't know. I don't know this one. Imposter by 21 publisher. 21 publisher. I can't. That doesn't ring a bell for me. I might have some of their stuff. And yeah, some companies come up. They they want to do 4-issue series, even 2-issue, 2 issues, or 6 issues. After number 1 or number 2, they can't afford it. They fold, right? If you send a link for us on our Gilded server, I'll look into it. I like obscure comic books. Any indie comic running at the moment you recommend? Right now, I'm not reading new stuff. I'm reading right. What am I reading? I just finished the 12 issues of Doom 2099 that we bought like super cheap. I've started reading Shadow Man, acclaimed comics Shadow Man with Garth Ennis. So I'm not reading anything current right now that's coming out on a monthly basis. I had to stop my pull list, right? John's like, I had some dude wear a sniper suit and jump out of the bushes on Halloween. Scared the hell out of me though. I was about to die. That would be funny. That would be funny. I laughed my ass off after I realized it was someone from school. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, I remember the crow, Brad. Remember the crow from Caliber? Indeed, I have the first prints of 1, 2, and 3, and I got the second prints of 1 and 2, and I got the third prints of number 1. I think the crow was fantastic. We did a reading of it, right? Cheryl, I'm one of those people that would totally wear one so I could startle people by being a talking plant. Yeah, Cheryl, I'd be with you right there. And you do your arms all wacko, right? Do your arms all wacko. I watched Blue Beetle last night. Horrid, is it? Oh god, I can't even imagine. I can't. And I like Blue Beetle. I like Blue Beetle. I've read some Blue Beetle comics, and I really like the character. Good humor in there, but the Blue Beetle movie came out. Yeah. I saw it. It's not as bad as Elder God. Horrid, agreed, but cute horrid, you could say. Like, I haven't even watched the Marvels and never will. I thought Blue Beetle was 3 orders of magnitude more superior than Wonder Woman. It's the third Blue Beetle. Third, no, it's the third character Blue Beetle, right? Not part 3, is it? Right? But the Blue Beetle movie that I saw, or is it a TV series? I can't remember. It was a movie, I think. Is like way better than Wonder Woman that everyone loved, and I couldn't believe. Yeah, it was disgusting. Loser forever. Assange is free. First time being in chat since. What do we think of his future plans? Do we know? We don't know, and I hope he chills. Salute to Assange, gang. I hope he chills. You're a second Blue Beetle fan from the 90s. I like the second Blue Beetle too. Yeah, the character, the what do you call it? The comics. I've read a fair bit of them. But the second, wait a second, the second Blue Beetle was also Hispanic. It was a Hispanic guy, yeah. Got murdered in Infinity War. Did he get murdered from damn? No, then I actually like the third Blue Beetle then. He got murdered. The second Blue Beetle. I've read that for sure. Hold on, in the 90s. Did he get murdered in the 90s Infinity War? I can't remember. I didn't think he did. Oh no. Nifitzi. Where you sitting looks such a tranquil place. Is it the same area where you filmed your have breakfast with me post? Yeah. I was sitting here. I've done a couple of half breakfasts. One was inside, one was here, and I was sitting here in this seat. There's a seat here beside me, and I think we're shooting this way or this way. No, we're shooting this way because I have a table here. Yeah, 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 same place. Yeah, same place. Third is Mexican kid. I like the Mexican kid. I like the third Blue Beetle. You say you like the second. I like the second as well. I like the first as well. I read the first. Not too many though, like 3 or 4 issues of the first. Maybe 3 or 4 issues of the second. But I like the third Blue Beetle. I like the Mexican Blue Beetle. It's super funny. Padre, the movies haven't been too good lately. No, the Marvel movies or DC movies, the superhero movies have been crap lately. That being said, some of the independent shows and stuff have been really good. Loser forever. Grapes this year. How's the growing season been up there? Growing season fantastic. Lots of grapes, like crazy, and we're getting a lot of like if it's windy, I have to vacuum the ground because the little green little here. I'm gonna do this. Watch this. Little grapes fall down. I don't know if you're gonna hear it or something. Hold on. You didn't hear it. It was very gentle. But if you tap it, tap the grapevines, you get lots of little green, little grapes falling down. Here, I can do this. Watch this. I'm gonna move the camera so you see the grapes up top. Ready? Ready? That's the grapevines, and I don't have the umbrella set up because there's enough leaves right now that provides amazing shade, right? So lots of grapes there. I don't, you can't see them right now. When it's ripe, we'll show them again. You should be able to pick out some. So this is the grapevine canopy that I made sure we had here. So so we get shade. We have an area in our patio where we have shade, and an area where we don't, right? So I grow different things depending on the shade and whatnot, right? I can keep on going like that, but I'm gonna come back. Okay. Nice. Someone's either burning out or their car's in deep poop. What is that sound? That is insane. So we have, wow, crazy stuff. So we have grapes coming from the yard, coming all the way up. That's the canopy here. And I have a gigantic pot with grapes in the corner over there, different type. It's a grape that my grandmother brought from Iran. No, Iran, and it's a stem from that, and it's growing in a gigantic pot over there and coming up and going. That's that grape, and it's coming this way, connecting up to the canopy here. She's an average Golf 2 driver in the Balkans. Hilarious, real xenomorph. Natural shade, yeah, Chase. Natural shade. Grapes, 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 Valley. It's all woke. MCUs, yeah, bad. Chase, yeah, chycho, about to get abducted. You live near NASCAR. NASCAR doesn't sound like that. That's like car having a bad time, right? Sounds like Godzilla has diarrhea. Hilarious. I'm picturing Godzilla having diarrhea. Not a good time, especially for the ones behind Godzilla. Grapes are expensive, yeah, yeah. Or this is, and these grapes are amazing, and they provide two different types of harvest. The ones that are unripened, we harvest where they're tart. We put them in food, right? And they make the food really tart. With chicken, amazing. With pasta, amazing. With casserole dishes, amazing. It's just amazing, period. Right? And then we let the rest ripen, and we have grapes, like so much grapes, so much grapes, so good, so good. So good. Do grapes cross pollinate like citrus do? I'm assuming they do. I'm assuming they do. Miss Balloon says, I hope they're okay. The people behind Godzilla when he's got diarrhea, or the people riding in the car? The people riding in the car, I think they're okay. The people behind Godzilla when he's got diarrhea, no, I don't think they're gonna be okay. I think they're gonna have a bad life. Padre, padre, padre. Didn't know about the canopy. That pulls the whole patio together, man. Fantastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Super good. Like, this is like, uh, really. I can't say anything else. How long did it take to grow? It took me, when we first moved here, it was like, I don't know, I guess 7 years ago, right? So first year we had our bearings, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I see grapes coming down from there. They're down the guard, like on ground level. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start directing them coming up here. And I built this thing in the second year. There's a wall here that the grapes can come, and then slowly. So we've had this canopy. It took about 4 years, I guess, for it to become a full canopy, right? And it's just becoming a lush canopy now. Last 3 years, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Gardening and working with plants, and like growing, making an amazing space with plants and garden, it takes a little time. They have to grow into it, right? You grow your environment, uh, and that's what it took for us. It was really good. Have a new chycho strain of grapes land race. You're either gonna start smelling poo or burning gasoline. Not good. This is Britain. Would you rather be behind Godzilla or King Kong when they both have diarrhea? I don't know. Uh, Neither. My vote is for neither. I don't want to be behind either of them. I don't want to be behind anyone that has diarrhea. Champagne glasses, nice. I get it, man. That makes it all better. Yeah, yeah, I agree with. Yeah, Padre. It feels amazing. Like, and anyone that's come here, they're like, wow, right? Wow. All of Chicho's elder god, all of Chicho's plants are decentralized. Awesome. Fun. Gang, even though I'm craving to light up the other cigar, um, I think we should call the stream. I think we should call the stream. I'll see what I can do again. Maybe we'll do a surprise cigar patio stream um, in the next few days. For sure, we'll do one next week. Um, Probably two next weekend. We've got to figure out when the finals are for Copa America and Disneyland. Different names for Godzilla diarrhea and what do you call it? The King Kong diarrhea. My wife was asking, what's so funny? Godzilla diarrhea versus King Kong diarrhea. Yeah, gang, let's call it a stream. Let's call it a stream. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the lettuce harvest. Boop, boop, all gone. And this is all mint and stuff. I've been harvesting this just constantly, and other things. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Fun to do, fun to be here. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Just keep your heads up, gang. Lots of things going on. Ken's Corner on Rumble. Salutations just popping in to say, "F Joe Biden." What the hell is that sound? Diveric on Rumble. Salutations. Good afternoon, Godzilla. Imagine Godzilla shooting a heat beam. Copas Euro matches, indeed. Gang, if you want to know what this work is about, I'm on Patreon, Substack, Subscribe Star. You can follow the work there. We do have a gilded server that you can join our little community, and soon, as a backup, we got Matrix going on. But we'll let you guys know about that as soon as the need arises. Okay, we are live streaming on Twitch, on CensorTube, on BitChute, on Rumble, 4 different platforms. Odyssey, hopefully soon to be coming. For some of the live streams, I do upload the audio on SoundCloud.com as a podcast, and the podcast should be available on your favorite podcasting platforms. And I'll get more active on that. We are on Twitter, we're on Minds, we're on Gab, we're on um, Substack Notes, we're on VK, we're on Truth Social, and we're on Getter. You can follow the work there, gang. Saluting with water. Salute. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the support that we're getting on Patreon, on Substack, on Twitch, on SessuTube, and all the other platforms. And salute to the mods, gang. Salute to the mods. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll see you guys online. Peace, everyone.